I think we're live now. Should be. I'm not hearing any echo, so I believe we're set up to go. Welcome. I am John Beatty, comic book inker, artist, illustrator. Gonna get busy today working on a commission piece, a blue line printout of a Michael Golden Godzilla sketch for a friend of mine. I've had this quite a while, so I need to get it done. He will be at Heroes Con, as will I, and I am going to drop it off to him at the show. So I'd like to welcome everybody that's joined now. It would be nice if I could get this done in one sitting. I'm estimating the ink time on this to be around, well, with chat it might run a little bit longer. Hey Ron, Joe, how y'all doing? Yep, it is a very nice Godzilla. So I'm just looking it over, thinking how I want to attack this piece. And I think basically I'm going to try to start with an outline of his major shapes. Start big and work small. And from what I can tell, hey Elliot, how you doing? Well, good for you, Joseph. Hopefully I have a fun weekend lined up. I think Ron's going to come over. That's always fun until we get tired. Hey, Ken, good morning. Enough with the sir, Elliot. I'm just John. Come on, I know I could be your dad, but, well, not really, but anyway. So, okay. Like I said, I think I want to start inking this in the bigger shapes and then going down into the smaller shadows and rendering. So I'm just going to kind of look for an area to get started on. Okay, well, don't run too fast, Ron. So I'm using a Raphael number 2 8404. It's got the orange butt on it, not the tan. And ink I'm using is the Pelican Drawing Ink A. So I'm just going to go in here and start getting some outline going on this beast. Elliot, I was hoping to see you in Daytona, but I got called away to do a convention, another one in Canada, this time in Manitoba with Mr. Zek. So it's the same weekend as the Daytona show, so I will not be there. But you'll be in good hands with Tom and the rest of the peeps there. It's a nice group of people that do the show. It's a fun little show. So let's see. I don't want to get too finicky with anything yet. Like I said, I'm beginning to slip into that, but I just really want to warm up a little bit. It's just so kind of enticing when Golden puts these nice lines in to do them as I go. Well, yeah, you'll have a good time though. Hopefully, it will be a good experience for you. Um, it is a small convention, which I actually don't mind doing myself these days compared to some of the bigger ones. And it is really comic space, so that's always a plus in my eyes. So my man Shannon, he might drop in. I see he did subscribe to my channel. But I don't know what his schedule is and if he's available to get away. I did put a tweet out that I was going to stream this piece and tagged him in it. So maybe he just wants to make sure I'm finally getting it done. Oh, bingo, kidney lady. Hold on, everybody. I'll be right back. I'm just going to hit my mute real quick. And I'm back. So, the mighty kidney lady. Ron, we didn't have our over under on that. I didn't text her to let her know that I was going to be streaming. That's my sister. For those of you that haven't kept up with the stream and don't know, it's kind of a funny story. Mike Cross remembered that I had called her the kidney lady from my days back in streaming on Ustream. And it really kind of was interesting that it seems like every time I start to stream, she either sends me a text or calls. So now part of the running gag is sometimes I'll tell her I'm streaming. Other times I just let it be to see if she does call in, which the percentage of that is pretty high. It's just a matter of when. But it's good. It's all good. She's got to take mom to get some donuts. Yeah, Elliot. To me, the smaller shows are nice. The people, especially when they're small shows. Most, in fact, well, I guess there's qualifying statement is most of the smaller shows do seem to be very geared towards comics and not the media guests. And so the people that come in actually know some history about comic books. Some of the bigger shows, it's easy to get lost in the whole thing when people don't know that the books came first and then the movies and the TV shows and whatever else is going on. So you get you will get I guess, a more pure fan, more pure comics fan at some of the smaller shows just on account of that. But I can't discount some of the bigger shows either because some people do attend those as well. So it's an interesting mix, but I have kind of noticed that it's nice when everybody is kind of working together and not against each other, or not, it's not quite the right way to phrase it, but when you have your people at the door not paying uh, say 40 to 60 to however much just to get in, um, when they can pay $10 or 20 at the most. Because they're not having to help offset the expense of that media guest. Variety is good. You're right. Let's see. Ron heard the ring and said that was her. That should count for something. 82% chance of her calling. He calculated it with precise tools from NASA. I think 82% is a good average, and it's just a matter of how far into the stream. I would say it's usually within the first, I'm going to say 30 minutes. And on some of my longer streams, she's actually sent me a text to ask if I'm still streaming. So it's kind of fun. She's became a running character on my channel here. Elliot, have you ever done Heroes Con, or do you plan on doing Heroes Con this year? It is it's an extremely excuse me, it's an extremely good show um, for doing artwork. Uh, the majority of the people that go there, they go there to buy art, to get sketches done. I would imagine you have been there, but I'm not sure. I've been doing Heroes Con since I missed the first one, even though I was on the flyer. I still don't know what came up that would have caused me to miss it, but apparently something did. But I haven't missed many. I would say, I know it's been going on 35 years, I think, that the show's been on. And if I've missed 10 shows, I would kind of be surprised. Although there was a time, I think in the 90s, I don't think I was doing any shows when I lived in Orlando. I was just inking a bunch of bat stuff over my boy Kelly Jones and having a good time with that. Hmm. Now that's interesting. I thought you would have done well there, Elliot. That's right, Ken. Those three shows right there are, I wouldn't, I don't know if I'd consider them small shows because they have, a lot of people, but I think they are very good, creator shows. If you're going to look for creators, they are very in attendance, so to speak. And let's see, there's the other Ken. Hey, Ken, just trying to get this Godzilla piece inked. And I have one smug trap. I live in Canada too. One smug, I don't live in Canada. I'm just going to be, I was at the Toronto Comic Con earlier this month, and I am going back. I think it's the second week in April to the Manitoba show. Well, I do know the dates because it's the same dates as the Daytona show here where I'm at, Daytona Beach, Florida. April 13th and 14th. Oh, okay, Ken. Mr. Elliot Fernandez is in the room. Uh, he is Jerkmonger. I don't know if you have anything from him. He is from the Tampa Bay area. A very, very good artist. You might consider picking up something from him. And a very good buddy of mine, and talented beyond belief, Andrew Robinson, the current cover artist on what is it, Peter Parker, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, will also be at the show. That guy is crazy talented. Hey, didn't I say I wasn't going to get caught up in the details? I want to get this outline down first. So let me get back to that. Like I said, rendering golden stuff is very fun. So I do tend to get into some of that when I come to an area that, especially even on the outlining, the way he uh, folds stuff in and under, especially on this Godzilla piece, the way the scales and the skin and all that stuff work together. It's easy to get a little distracted from just putting an outline. It's almost like I want to, I want to kind of finish certain things that I should just leave. Get into those a little bit later. So yeah, those of you who saw my tweet earlier this week, didn't well. I did manage to finish David Turkin's. Let's see, and I did my signature at the same angle. I did get to finish his symbiote Spider-Man piece, so I was in a bad mood uh, personally, so I just kind of wanted to be alone in my thoughts while I did that. So that's why I didn't stream it. But I wanted to do it. It was some good therapy and gave me a chance to think about a lot of stuff. I probably I probably should have recorded it, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling chatty, or even though I could have just left it silent or overdubbed a voice on it later. But the main thing is it's done. He's waited a little while to get that, so I think a couple months at least. Maybe in January, I think he ordered it, and I've got some other stuff to package up and get out to him. I need a packaging person if anyone's interested. It's local. Uh, that can really kill a morning wrapping stuff up. Getting it ready to mail. Hey, Sean. I think I know who one smug trap now is. Is that you, Mike Cross? Hey, Sean, how you doing? Yes, that's true. Sometimes I do need to work in silence. Oh, hey, glad you got that. Thank you. Hey, Ron, is tomorrow, are you planning on coming over tomorrow? Because that's fine. Sometimes it's Saturday, sometimes it's Sunday. Good thing about Saturday is if it runs a little, if you're over here a little later than you planned, you don't have to run into work the next day all tired, and you got Sunday to rest. No football, but eh. I see someone else from the Patriots resigned. I think it was one of the coaches again. Don't know what's up. Don't know what's up with that organization. It's beginning to self-destruct, it seems. As I cackle. Hey, I don't know. I guess it was last Friday when we were streaming. Steve was in here. Steven. That was the last. It had been a while since we saw him. Our our notorious Patriot fan. Tomorrow, okay, sounds good. Ken Bulletheads, I like that. He says, as a Jets fan, I'd like the whole organization to retire. Very good, sir. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm a Dolphins fan. So is Ron. So we feel your pain. So Sean, I was going to give you a call and just go over a few things if you're up for that. Uh, maybe after this stream. If not, maybe I don't know how much later in the afternoon. Got to go get my boy at three-ish. I just want to kind of run some stuff by your brain and see what you think about it. On our road to Heroes Con, let's see. Sean is going, Ron is going, John is going. That's me. Anybody else in the room making a jaunt to Heroes Con this coming year? June, is it 14th, 15th, and 16th, I believe. Hey, Dr. Kaz. It is a happy Godzilla Friday. I like that. Hope you've been doing well. Hi, Jerry. Jerry, this was penciled by Michael Golden. It's a blue line printout. A friend of mine owns the original pencil drawing. His name's Shannon, and he wanted me to ink it. I was supposed to give it to him at Heroes Con last year, but that was one of the years I wasn't there because I was booked at the Denver show, which was the same weekend. And so he's been waiting on it a couple years. Actually, it was another piece to begin with, and then I didn't get it. And he asked if I would do this instead. And I love Golden's work. So, yeah, got no problem. Golden's one of those people that is tough but fun to ink. But I appreciate you stopping in, and I think this is the first time I've seen you here, so welcome. And if you're not a subscriber, um, feel free. I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel and a participant whenever you can. So, thank you. Okay, I'm getting warmed up, but I'm also noodling. Mike Cross. Mike Cross for the win. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. I'll tell you what, guys, I would love to do a Friday night stream, but it seems like every time I do one, the next day I'm exhausted. I have no idea. Um, it's, the even last week we didn't go that late, but there was something. I don't know if I'm trying to change my schedule or not. Um, I'm just like you guys. I'm just trying to go through life and figure out what works best, and it keeps throwing me curveballs, and I'm not very good at hitting curveballs yet. So I need to practice my curveball hitting. Get that average up on those. Seems like they particularly strike me out. Hey, you know what, Mike Cross? That is actually a good idea. I see what you did there. So you're just saying, um, for me just to kick back, kind of relax and talk. Uh, Pin Jared maybe, so we get to watch him work and just yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Heck, I could do that at home. I wouldn't have to even come down to the studio. There you go. If Jared's not listening, maybe the next time we do a Friday night, I'll just consider that. I'll do like one head sketch or something, and then I'll just turn it over, turn it over to Jared. I'll come on and do a little something. You need to keep me around. Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that someone needs to keep me around. Hey, G, how you doing? Good morning. Dr. Kaz, this is a 11 by 17. Um, it goes up to here, down to here. And let's see, what else did you ask? It's on Strathmore. I believe this is either I think this is the 300 series vellum, not the smooth, but the vellum finish. So it's got a little tooth to it. Um, and basically what I do is I forget what the setting is, but I go in and make it I think you got to make it a grayscale or something. Then you change it to a duotone, and actually then I think it goes to a monotone or something instead of duo. And there's a preset blue, and your printout is really going to depend upon your printer. You kind of have to, sometimes it'll be a lot more green than this. And I had that problem before, and you just have to kind of adjust it and print one out and then see, if you need to saturate the blue a little bit more. So, and then once you dial something in, you're pretty much good to go. If your blue is running a bit low in your printer, it may not print as well, but you want to take all the other color out of it so it's not spraying any other color except from the cyan cartridge. So boy, when I opened the stream here today, I said I thought this was probably going to take me about 2 or 3 hours to ink. Yeah, wishful thinking. As I get into the woods here, as I get into the nice detail that Mr. Golden has put into this, I believe it's 3 hours still may be about right. Well, I guess I have been going about an hour. Um, but I've never been the fastest dog in the race. And that, let me re-say that. I've never been the fastest dog in the race, but I've never tried to be that fast dog. I've tried to be the consistent and quality dog, which is important on a commission, more so. Um, this is kind of a loaded comment, so for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt, but on commission pieces, you do have the luxury, and people are buying the original piece of art. My theory has always been they don't want any whiteout on it. They don't want any whatever. They don't want any marks or anything. Now on published artwork, um, you're gonna get maybe some whiteout, maybe some uh, dirt or smudging on the paper. It doesn't matter. It's going to be printed. And but I've always felt when I do commissions that people don't want to see that. Now I could be totally wrong. Um, my work has always been relatively clean, even for publication. And by clean, I mean, pages erased well. Um, I try not to use whiteout unless it's absolutely something I have to do, or I use it for a technique. I don't know. It's just it's nothing. It's just it could be some of my OCD. So for better for worse, I guess what I'm trying to say is commission pieces seem to be somebody's buying the art because let's see, they want it to look like a stat where you don't see, and this is just this is my maybe unresearched opinion. They they don't want to see the thinking or the work underneath. Now I know some of you do. So maybe some of that made sense. Maybe it didn't. I'm gonna kind of stop talking about that now and worry about the task at hand. The good thing about Godzilla is uh, he's got this texture to him, so I can break my line. I can make it a little bumpy and lumpy. It doesn't, I really don't. I don't try to make it perfect, but through repetition of just my the way I use a brush and stuff, I have to purposely um, do certain things that maybe other people, it's more of a natural ability to be a little, I guess more organic would be a good word, good choice of words. So I have to be aware. I have to think about the textures and stuff, what I'm doing. Yeah, I could help you with that, Ron. That's not a problem. Actually, it's funny, AG. Kelly and I, we spoke, I think it was yesterday, and I told him, looking back through that, you know, what I missed was, well, it's kind of weird because I was told once before working on Batman that I think my incline had to be like 60 or 65% black for them to scan it well. And it was not good ink, and I don't have time to fill blacks in twice. They hadn't quite perfected the digital stuff like they have now. But anyway, yeah, so now I see people working in tonal type and still getting it to print black. So I know that technology has changed, and that's cool because for myself, I'll tell you what was a real eye-opening experience, and it probably shouldn't have been, was when I started to see some of Mike Mignola's Hellboy originals. It's really interesting to see how he would go in with maybe a deadweight pen, like maybe even a Copic, or probably didn't have Copics back then. Um, but let's say some sort of a marker, and do this deadweight line, and then go back in with a brush, filling in the blacks. And you could also see where he had maybe did a little cross hatching with a pen or something, just loosening that pen up and then painting the black over it, so you could still see the more dense pen underneath the filled in black area. And I thought that was really cool because I could actually see the process, and that didn't come about for a while. And I think the reason being is that a lot of people, you know, I don't know if it scared them or what, but it, it seemed like they didn't want to see the process. And to me, it's about the process. Oh, thanks, Joe. Well, we got a good group of people in here. I want to again say hello to everybody that's tuning in. Um, this is probably going to be a two-part inking. I've been at it for an hour now. Just wanted to get back into streaming. Wanted to get work done on this piece. Originally thought I could do this in 2, maybe 3 hours. So, who am I kidding on that one? But that's okay, because I'm going to try to get the outlining done. Like I said, I started noodling a bit, which I didn't want to do, but hey, some of this textural stuff becomes very fun. Um, and when you're working with a brush, it's kind of nice to go in like I'm doing now and add these little touches. Um, this little bit of detailing work that Golden's put into these pencils, and yeah, this is like a sketch he does at a convention. I mean, it's it's incredible to see some of the work that he has produced at comic book shows with people around him being interrupted for signatures, uh, pictures, whatever. Just incredible. So if I can get this outlined in this, which I should be able to, in this, let's say part one, then I'll get into the rendering and the second part, like I've done. I've already started down here. We'll get into that. Oh boy, yeah, I did, didn't I, Mike? Well, my takeaway from that is if you can't go fast, you better build your stamina. And that's what I've done. Well, but I'm not in my 20s or 30s or 40s anymore, so I understand sleep now a lot better than I used to. And boy, it understands me. Sleep and I have always been friends. I think everybody, except for Jacob, he doesn't appreciate sleep, except at night. At nighttime, he knows he has to go to sleep. In the day, I can tell he needs a nap, but he won't lay down. Then if we go for a ride in the car, suddenly he's telling me he's going to take a nap while we're driving to our location, which is kind of funny. And he does. He absolutely does. He'll go out and he'll sleep in his little car seat. Actually, it's not so little. It's more of a. It's one of the ones that we got. It's into that booster seat time now. Uh-oh. I hear some crying babies outside. And now they're gone. Now they're back. Yes, it was. Well worth the $15. And I believe coming from Canada at that time, I had to wait a week for uh, like a PayPal check to clear for that amount, if I remember correctly. So, but hey, I like doing those small colored paper head sketches. That actually was a lot of fun, um, and it was good times. So, and then we had Mike Cross. I am talking to you because other people may not get this, but we had Mr. Hand Jive, the original hand jiver that could slap those things out, those head sketches, in 5 to 10 minutes tops. No names, just saying. Um, but there's something to be said for quality. And I know that Zablo he went back for a double. He got some and then he got some more. And I was actually quite surprised coming from the Z Man due to the fact that they were very, very quick. And they were more expensive than what I was charging. I do know that. Not by a lot, but maybe $10 or $15 more. You know what would be a good challenge, Mike Cross? I'm thinking back to the old days because this was kind of popular back when Ustream was seemed to be about the only game in town. A 24-hour stream. I know a few people that did those. That's kind of got me interested now that I've thought about it. I would need to take breaks though, without a doubt. But could it be done? I don't know. I might I might have to balance a few things first, but that could be an interesting challenge. What do you think? That's just foolish. Hi, Twixstar. Boarding class. Well, um, welcome, I guess. I can't really I can't really say you should be not blowing off school, but But welcome to the stream. What class are you currently in that is so boring? Man, if I would have when I was growing up going to school, if I would have had like people live streaming and stuff, I got to admit I probably would have done the same on a few classes, maybe. Don't want to encourage it. I'm just saying, I'm being honest. There could have been a day or two where I could have probably yeah, the big Beatty education. You're right, Mike Cross. You just can't get this anywhere. Um, only here. Only here can you get that. You know it. By the way, Mike Cross, are you on your lunch hour now, or you're just payroll's done, so you're free or kind of free, you know? I'm whispering in case you're listening at work. And I know you can hear him coming up those stairs too, right? I'm saying I'm saying those stairs have a little bit of a creak to them. Mm-hmm. Just as I thought. But in your case, that's a good thing. Twix, what about you? Are you still out there? I'd be interested to know what class you're what class is the boring one. The boring one to you. Yes. What class is the boring one to you? Don't tell me all of them. That would have been my answer, but sent to detention. Yeah, I think so. Must have got busted, right, Ken? Funny. I just, it would be tough for me to. I can't imagine what what it would be like to have the technology that we have now in school today. Be kind of mind blowing for us older folk who loved technology but didn't have it in school. Heck, I remember when a calculator came out and crying baby again. Don't know. Can't tell you. I have no idea. I think it's downstairs. I'm on the second floor. But I remember when the calculator came out, we weren't even allowed to have one in school for math, and now I think it's required. Now, see if our calculus teacher and Patriot fan Stephen was here, he could tell us. Yeah, it's required. That's okay. I only went to pre-algebra, so I got my math credit, and that was it for me. I was uh, I was done. Godzilla got him some abdominals, a six-pack going. Let's see. Mike Cross asked me, off topic, living in Florida, have you gone to Disney World enough to give me a restaurant recommendation for there? Um, no, because I don't eat at their restaurants because they are so expensive. But I can give you a tip. I know, and you know who could. Little John and Patricia. They come to Disney 2 or 3 times a year, and on their Instagram feed, I constantly see them. Little John will get his craft beers going, and they will they will do some shots of food they're eating, some photo shots, shoots, whatever. So definitely, Little John would be your best source. I'm sure he's been to probably every restaurant on Disney property. Now, if you go outside the property, you're going to find your normal chain restaurants and stuff, which, hey, that's fine. It beats paying 65, 70, 80, $100 for one plate at a Disney. I could be exaggerating that, but like I said, I have eaten there at one of their restaurants, and I can't remember once, and that was actually courtesy of John Higashi, um, and it was a very good meal. But man, I'll tell you, I there was nothing on the menu that was I don't want to say cheap, but let's just say budget friendly, at least not to my wallet. I almost felt guilty with Higashi inviting us there and picking up the check. I didn't know what to expect price wise until I got to the restaurant and sat down and saw the menu. And can you take out a loan? Can you take out a loan to get you dinner there one night? Well, I would say, if it's just for, I mean, I know you're coming an awful long way, so uh, if you do it, you probably, and you probably may as well experience it once and at least hit one of their nice restaurants. I will say, uh, I do remember whatever it was, wherever we ate, the food was very, very good. But I know a meal there could be about the same price as a Zach Beatty combo sketch. Depending. Like I said, I know there's different places. I'm I am not that big a help when it comes to that. I like good food. I'm not into to paying to paying. No, I'm not into paying like uh like what a car payment or something for one meal. Um my my budget for food is not that extreme. There's always the Golden Corral buffet down the street. And actually, there is now that I think about this one, there is a Golden Corral buffet somewhere around the convention center where they have MegaCon every year. It's down the street and it's a little more expensive, like maybe $5 more expensive than your normal Golden Corral. But what they offer on that, now, Mike Cross, I want you to take this in the spirit that I'm saying it. It's like a meat buffet, and they advertise that. And boy, I tell you, um, I accidentally went into that one. I just, the family and I were over there for MegaCon one year, and we couldn't really decide what to eat. And so I was just like, well, I'm hungry here. Let's just go to a Golden Corral. And we went in, and it seemed kind of high, the price. And I just thought, okay, you know, we're in this area. They can afford to gouge the tourist a bit. And turns out we actually went back again because the meats they had were really well done. Not like cooked well done. I mean, you could get them to throw a steak back on if you wanted it well done. Wah, wah, wah. But no, really, it was very interesting that they actually had this one set up a little bit different. But it was a good experience for a Golden Corral, believe it or not. It didn't have the tough, chewy steak like your normal ones have. It actually had really good steak. The meat buffet, is that the magic words? Hey everyone, I just want to say hello to those of you hanging in there with me. Uh, I appreciate it, and hope you're having a great Friday, March 29th, 2019. Um, Hope your day is going well. Hope it'll continue to go well and into your weekend. I'm probably going to do about another half hour on this piece to noon. but I just wanted to make sure to say hello. And I do appreciate you all spending some time with me. And if this is your first time to my channel, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please feel free. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. It is free. It's no charge. And when I have time, I'm normally streaming about 3 times a week, comic art, various commissions and other pieces that I have. If you look back at some of my older videos in the library there, you'll kind of get a gist of what I'm doing. And if you enjoy viewing this type of work, then you've come to the right place. If you have any questions, you can either ask them now, or if you're watching this recorded, please feel free to ask away in the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer you to the best of my ability. Thank you very much. Yes, they did have barbecue there too, Mike. They had like brisket, they had turkey, of course, they had ham, chicken. I think they had some seafood. Let's see. Steak, of course. I think they had a couple of different uh, cuts of steak. Hey, Noah. Okay, let me turn this around. I'm making some progress on it here. Almost got him all outlined. Then I'm going to color him in. As people that don't really know what inkers do, I'm going to color him in. Actually, I'll tell you all a funny story, and Jared can appreciate this and and laugh along with it, or cry. I don't know. Um, it's nothing bad. I promise you. It was all good, and it turned out being the start of when we do our Friday night shows. Um, the very first one that we did on a Friday night, I had basically planned on kind of doing um, a spotlight, I guess, on Jared to introduce him to the audience that I have. And So he got excited to come online and do a stream with me. He got so excited that he invited our buddy Pat Sampson. And he said, "Hey, I invited Pat and I hope that's okay, yada, yada, yada." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." He's like, "I don't know if he's going to come on or not." So I told, I asked Jared if he could send like a message out because I didn't have Pat's contact information, include me on a message to Pat so I could have some contact with him. And Jared did. Um, I think I told this to Jared afterwards because I didn't want to step on anyone's toes or feelings. So we did the broadcast. It did well. We had fun. Pat was really great. Um, Coming in, uh, doing what he did, helping the show along. But my intent all along was, like I said, to I was going to go and just kind of like Mike Cross said, I was going to be kind of chill, sketch a little bit, and then I was basically going to turn it into I'm suddenly interviewing Jared. Now, Jared didn't know this, and I didn't let him know because I just kind of wanted to let it happen. But when he brought Pat in, it killed that. Not in a bad way, but it just killed the plan that I had. So we just ran with everyone streaming, or everyone taking part, I should say. But yeah, so I told Jared, I said, I got to tell you, I didn't want to say no to Pat because I like him. And I said, but I, I was kind of setting you up to do like an interview and let people get to know you on my channel. But as it were, it all worked out. People still got to know Jared from that stream, and they got to know Pat as well. And so when we all get on and kind of jam together, it's a lot of fun. And eventually, I want to develop another show, and I want to have Ron, Zablo, Jared, and if Sean's still out there, Sean, on a show where maybe we will all read a comic book, watch a movie, or whatever. Talk about convention stories or meeting. I don't know if I want to get into meeting people's stories because those can go very, very wrong with just a word or two placed not quite right. You got to be careful around people today. Everybody's so sensitive, except for Mike Cross. Him and I, we still get the jokes and we still have fun. And at the end of the day, no hurt feelings. But that's kind of tough these days. So don't want to get into that. Not going there. Anyhow, that was kind of a funny thing I thought with the Jared story. So just sharing that. Thank you, Noah. Let me see. So I got another, this is my usual drawing surface where I have the brown craft paper taped down for my head sketches. This is another little board that I use, um, that I have this 11 by 17 on for anybody that might be curious as to the setup. The camera is right up here. I'm wearing a headset with a microphone attached, which eventually um, will be replaced with a better, gonna get a Blue Yeti mic one of these days so I can hopefully modulate my voice a little bit better. I think this is fine for now, but I think the sound quality is a little bit on the tinny side sometimes. That's my drink, not. So I'm gonna finish these spines down Godzilla's back, and we'll call that. That should take us to about 12, and then I'll call I'll call that the end of part one here. Just knowing that I got some of this done is a big help. I guess I will run out and try to grab a little something to eat. And then get back to working on other things that I have to do. I still have the head sketches that I did last Friday that need to be inked. I will be going to Savannah for a 2-day show. I'll be leaving next Friday. So I'll try to make sure to get those, excuse me, those and more. Boy, I went through puberty again there. Gonna try to get those and a few more done before I leave. And probably work on this Godzilla a bit more. Hopefully I'll have a good week to stream next week. I do enjoy it. Like I said, I hope you all do. If you're watching this on a replay, questions can be left in the comments. Comments can be left in the comments for that matter. And I will reply to all if needed. So I hope the rest of your day goes well. If it's going well, I hope it continues. If it's not, I hope it picks up. And I hope whatever you got planned for this weekend is exceptionally fun. And if it's not, if you plan something that's not fun, well, it's something you just need to do. I'm right there with you. I know how that goes. But I hope that it goes as best as it can. Or as best as it can, I guess would be. more proper, as Mr. Zablo would probably tell me, or Jared if they were here. But they're not. So I get to use my speak. But I'm trying to get better. The more you do, the better you get. Practice, practice, practice. What I need to do, because it's interesting, I feel my voice is just now becoming, well, it's been a while, but I feel my voice as I clear my throat again. My voice is just now beginning to be warmed up. And believe it or not, a lot of YouTubers, they do voice exercises or at least warm their voice up um, before going live so that they sound well. And that's not lost on me. I'm not one of those people that particularly hate the sound of my voice, but I am aware when my voice is not warmed up. For whatever purpose that may be relevant to what I'm talking about. And I know it, for me, it's, I want to be clear when I speak, and I want to be, I want to be clear and kind of concise in what I'm communicating. Problem being is when I'm trying to concentrate on work, it can get a little bit tough. So I do appreciate any little verbal mistakes I make not being held against me. Because the mind can wander when you're working and trying to talk. The creative mind. So I'm getting close to the last little thingamabob here. I'll start the show wrap up by saying thank you. Thank you for watching live. If you're watching this on a replay, thank you for tuning in. And Mike Cross says, have you ever had someone not like the way you've inked a Zek or a Jones at a show? Well, I've never inked a Kelly piece at a show, and I've never had anyone tell me they haven't liked what I've done over Mike at a show. You trying to tell me something, Mike, about me publishing your Captain America? That was a bloody good one, man. No, I seriously, I haven't had anyone say, because I try to do such a wonderful, stellar job on them all. I try not to let that even be a factor. I will say this about that. You see what I did there? Makes me wonder, when Zach and I do a commission, and I see it on eBay, because usually it's not right away, because I kind of check to see if anyone, I, okay, here's the deal. I really don't care if someone's going to flip it or not. I put a price on what I do, and if somebody wants to throw it out there and try to get a few more dollars, that's fine. Um, but it is interesting to note that I've only seen a few pieces, and a lot of them are sketch covers. And I know some of these guys that get sketch covers from Mike and I, that they are facilitators for CGC or CBCS. So I know that some of the ones they're getting are for themselves, and others are ones that they're going to, basically try to sell and get their money back, to pay for theirs. And that's cool. It's the oddball one that we'll do on a piece of paper that I think is nice, and I'll see it on eBay. Speaking of eBay, I have not used eBay in like forever. I can't even log into my account. Um, I don't know that I ever would purchase or sell on eBay again. My first plan of attack when I'm buying is always to hit Amazon and look first. That's for stuff that I can't, that I can't get locally. So anyway, let me do a little more here, and then we'll call it a session. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it for right now. Let me give you a quick. I spent a lot of time warming up down here on his foot, on one of them. And there's the tail. So again, that'll be the end of part one. I don't think I'll do any inking off camera on this. I think I'll pick up the process. What I may do at the end is combine the video into one complete. Maybe I'll do a part one, part two. Put them in a playlist. But for now, thank you, everybody. And yep, Ken, I will see you soon. Everybody take care. Like I said, hope you all have a great weekend. I'll try to do the same, and see you again real soon. For now, I'm out. And that's it. See ya.